Enough is enough. I have had it with these monkey-fighting snakes on this Monday to Friday plane.
And we have made it to the Friday plane. It is Mike Wimmacher with you here on WMAY. Appreciate you tuning in this morning. Joined by Johnny Molson. Thank you. Hey, all right. It's a Friday. The Friday before Thanksgiving. We're going to have a lot of fun here.
Good morning.
I love it. We really should. I wonder if we were to be able. Do you think we could pull that off for like 2 straight hours of that kind of faux? Like, hey, what's going on? Everybody's excited and everything's great. And look at this, look at that.
Yeah, do an FM Zoo kind of a morning mayhem. Yeah.
Oh my God. I would only be able to handle it for about 3 minutes myself before I
think
find
it'd be funny.
It would be hilarious, but I don't know how long I could do it and still be able to look myself in the mirror when I got home.
Well, it is a pleasure to be here. Hello to all of yous out there listening.
Yeah, it's a pleasure to have you here. Here's what you have in store to talk about this hour, Johnny.
Oh, okay.
We have a story that involves eating a tadpole that we'll get to. We also have language within the office that older folks can't stand that the younger employees are using.
Oh, these kids today.
Yes, exactly. We have all
tickety tockety bingety bongety rangada bangada bunk.
And to wrap up the 7 o'clock hour, there was a survey about people who felt that they could survive the apocalypse, and then they put together the list of people they would want with them to survive the apocalypse. But I don't think people realize that just because someone's awesome in the movies doesn't mean they have those skills in real life.
Right.
So that is some of the things to look forward to. But we begin this hour with a couple of Florida teens who break into a woman's house. They come in through a window. And the reason why I'm bringing this story up is because the things that they take, you would imagine, right, if someone's going through the trouble of breaking in through a window, what would you imagine they'd be stealing from the home?
Oh, I'm thinking, jewelry. You get some nice electronics. If there's a laptop laying around, you grab the laptop.
Right. A tablet, whatever it may be.
Something. Some fine flatware.
Yeah, oh, yeah, because everybody needs, whether to use at home or pawn, one of the two. It's like, I don't know how many times I've walked by a house and go, I bet you have good flatware. I'm having a dinner party. I should break in and steal it because I just don't have any of my own.
I'm trying to think of the last time I've known anybody who's had their everyday wear and then an extra set that's for fancy times. There's some silver-plated, nice something.
There's still some out there. That
I know they exist.
This is the time of year that they exist, and this is the time of year they're used.
Yeah.
But it is one of those things that seems, over the years,
they make some really convincing plastic stuff, though.
They do, and I would prefer that.
I see no reason to do dishes.
No, I'm with you. When I stop,
and you know what? No one's going to steal the plastic stuff, which I think is the point of this story.
When I stopped becoming a bachelor, I finally started using actual plates. I was like, this is a waste.
Right.
I'm really ruining the environment. I should just keep throwing trash away. But no, what they end up stealing. And I wonder if you had one of these when you were growing up. They break through a window and stole an electric shock chewing gum toy. So the prank chewing gum, remember that? And a set of screwdrivers.
No kidding.
That's all they take. First of all,
and these were just teens?
Yes.
They don't know what they're doing.
Right. But not only that, how many drawers did they have to go through to find the electric shock chewing gum toy?
I love that they saw that and said, oh, this is so awesome. This is going to be great.
Well, I wonder if it was like they wanted some gum and they grabbed it and they got shocked. They're like, oh, my God, now we got to take this.
Yeah, wait till the other hoodlums see this gag.
Now, I didn't have the electric shock one. I had the one that was like the rat trap. Did you have that one?
Yeah.
And it's amazing that was okay to purchase back in the day. I'm like, you would like break someone's thumbnail in half with that thing. But everyone's like, ha, 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 ha.
Yeah. Even the joy buzzer. Can I say joy buzzer on the radio?
I think you just did.
Okay. I'm sorry if there are kids listening right now.
Earmuff your kids.
The thing you shake someone's hand and they jump and everything. Did those ever work?
No.
I mean, you had to like give them a bear hug with your hands to get that thing to even, go on. And so you're squeezing and you're like, wait, it'll be funny in a second.
Well, it's not only that, all that you had to go through to hide it, right? Because it's like, all of a sudden, there was like a ring on you're like, you don't wear rings. And you're like, what do you mean? And then the one time that you would get someone to fall for it, you forgot to crank it up so that it would go off. All these jokes just never work. Even the gum that was the mousetrap, it was always some ridiculous looking, obvious fake gum wrapper.
Yeah.
And that no one would ever fall for. Yeah. But I found it interesting that these kids are willing to go to juvie over electric gum and some screwdrivers.
And that's not going to play well out in the yard when they're there with the other criminals who have actually done stuff, who's actually seen things, been involved in stuff.
What are you in for? Carjacking? How about you? I stole some electric gum.
I'll tell you in a second, but first, do you want a piece of gum?
It was all worth it. By the way,
Guy's hardcore.
Yeah, the homeowner valued her items at $50. Yeah, those must have been some expensive screwdrivers, because that electric chewing gum toy is maybe $5 max.
When you mail something and you get the insurance, no matter what it is, it's $100.
Correct.
It doesn't matter. It can be that box of pens that's sitting over there on the table, and
they'll insure it.
And if it gets lost, you get $100.
Yeah, so that's
probably what that is.
The window was $800 though, but I just found it hilarious that people were willing to go to jail over the electric chewing gum toy.
It's the thrill. I think that's it's like shoplifting.
Yeah, it kind of is.
So I've heard.
I have stories for you. We'll take a break, and when we come back, we'll have that story that involves
hamburger.
Mike Wimacher alongside Johnny Molson this morning here on WMAY. Thank you for tuning in. I'm not one for hiking or camping. I appreciate the beauty of the outdoors, but I prefer to do more of my working out or that kind of stuff in a more indoor situation, or one that's more controlled. Yeah. I'm not one to go out on a nature hike where if I take a wrong turn, I may be stuck somewhere. That's not my cup of tea. That's not my bag. And I feel like you're the same kind of way.
Yeah, I think I've camped out, 3 times, and I enjoy the doing of it.
Okay.
But the getting there and the setting up and
it's a lot of work.
Lighting a fire, what the hell are we?
Yeah, what's going on with that? The reason why we built homes is so we don't have to do that out there.
Abe Lincoln to you? Or
right, exactly. I don't want any part of that. Well, let me introduce you to Jeff Hahn. He and his 25-year-old daughter, Harper Hahn, had planned to hike just a few miles inside Big Bend Ranch State Park in mid-June. Already sounds like a bad idea to go hiking in the middle of the summer. That seems like a more fall thing, or if you're going to do it very early in the morning, right?
Some people are serious about this.
So, however, their plan started to go bad when they became lost, and the old man began to experience leg cramps as the brazen heat beat down on them. Mm-hmm. Also, shouldn't you plan out your route a little bit better when you're going hiking?
Look, you're asking the wrong guy, man.
217-629-7970. If you've gone hiking, I'm pretty sure you want to follow the trail.
I was born in Chicago. It's a grid.
Yes.
You go north or you go west.
I grew up in the burbs, and my vacationing is at Disney World. All I know is just major thoroughfare maps. I don't know anything about weaving around things.
I can see the Hancock from here.
Yes.
Okay, I must be in the right place.
I can see the castle or the Epcot. Right. I can see Spaceship Earth. I know which way to go.
Direction.
Yeah, exactly.
It's much easier in the real world than not in the wilderness. Like an idiot.
Leave that for the animals. What are you doing going in there anyway? So they're 8 hours into the hike, and they run out of water. Okay, apparently they thought it was going to be a brief hike, as you probably would.
Sure.
So 8 hours in, they're sweating. It's
Nobody
hot.
intends to get lost.
No. So the poor old man could only walk a short distance before he needed to take a break. As the conditions continue to heat up and deteriorate, they decide that the daughter, go on without me. Leave dad here. Go on without me. You go find help, as they didn't have any cell reception.
I'll only slow you down.
Right, exactly. You have so much to live for. Do you feel like he felt like Bruce Willis in Armageddon there?
That's what I'm picturing.
He was like, make sure you tell him I love as he moves on. She left her father at a rocky outcropping. But when she returned with Park Superintendent Nathaniel Gold, the dad was nowhere to be found. So he says, go on without me, find help. She finds help, not a problem, comes back like, oh, God, I'm going to save Dad. Yeah. Dad's not here.
He went to live with the wolves.
It gets better.
Okay.
So Dad's, his legs burned, and he told the local outlet the only way to ease the pain was continue walking. So she turned back around to her dad around 7:30, but during that time, he had continued slowly moving in the direction where he thought help would be in. So he sends her, and because it hurt so bad, walking kind of helped. So he made his way to a shack a few miles away from the outcropping, where he found 2 sealed bottles filled with 1 liter of water each on the windowsill. So, hallelujah. After leaving the shack, though, he continued through the park into the dark until his foot snagged on a rock. He then fell,
oh my gosh,
fracturing his wrist and landing on a large rock where he found a puddle of water. So he'd already he had pounded the other water. So now he's there, broken wrist, face down, extreme heat still in the middle of the night. So he pulls out the straw attached to his water bottle, and he starts drinking the puddle water.
Yeah, I guess you do.
I mean, right? I mean, It's better than anything else. If you think that's bad enough, but wait, there's more.
He looked up and there was a cow whizzing
right into the puddle.
Taking a leak.
Or he sees a raccoon just doing its business in there. He continued, eventually clambering up a hillside.
By the way, you can tell how little I am in the wilderness that there would be a cow in the forest. See, I don't even know what I'm talking about. I don't know why I'm commenting on this story. I have no idea what I'm talking about.
I didn't even realize that part. That you said, why would a cow just be in the middle of the forest?
A cow
just because
on a hiking trail.
Just because it's
God,
big.
I'm stupid.
Just because it's Big Bend Ranch State Park doesn't mean it's on a ranch. The next thing you know, a donkey showed up and it kicked him right in the thing.
That's all I know.
At least I said raccoon.
Is it a horse? I don't know what that is.
So he continues, and eventually by the way, kudos to this gentleman for soldiering on, even though his legs are burning. I don't know if I would have said, hey, go ahead, and then moved away from where I was supposed to be. That seems fraught with peril, because then what if she doesn't find help? How do you find her? Just stay in that spot. So as he continues on, so now he's got a broken wrist. He's drunk. He's drank puddle water and hoping for the best there. He doesn't get the dysentery from the cow whiz.
The cow,
so he eventually clambers up a hillside into a small canyon where he found a stream, and in that stream, so he's got enough water, but he's hungry now.
Yeah.
Because they ran out of trail mix or what the hell they brought. So he sees this stream, and in the stream, there's a bunch of tadpoles. And he goes, well, I enjoy sushi back in the real world. Might as well go ahead and eat myself a live tadpole.
Of all the things that we've learned from Bear Grylls, you could probably look at a tadpole and go, I could probably eat that, I guess.
Yeah, you probably could, although I don't know at what point does it not stop being alive? Does it swim in the
This
stomach?
I don't know.
Does it swim in the stomach a little bit?
They're remarkably resilient.
Yes. So does it swim in your stomach for a little bit?
I suspect it would.
Next thing you know, you burp up a frog at one point, like at a party. Like, sorry, that was the time I got lost in the woods.
Your stomach is full of puddle water. Tadpoles love that. It's like a breeding ground. So I ate 2, and I had 8 somehow.
So he eventually uses his hat to scoop up the tadpoles and just have a nice, barrage of a handful of tadpoles to eat. Moments later, he would hear a plane in the distance, and then a helicopter, and a rescuer would then call out his name, and they would take him back to his daughter after more than 24 hours.
So my question is, did he have to eat the tadpoles? I mean, did the helicopter come close enough to his dining on the tadpoles where he went, I didn't have to eat those damn things?
I bet you it did.
It probably
because it seems like moments later, it says. So he had just downed the tadpole. Right. He's like, my only way of surviving.
Yeah, I could be out here for days. I just need protein.
Oh, son of a...
I didn't have to. I could have had a hamburger.
Oh, damn it. I'm now a belly full of puddle water tadpoles when I could have had a nice Big Mac instead.
Oh, that's
He suffered from a condition where the muscles began to break down. He also suffered from acute renal failure and was taken to the hospital where he spent several days. Since the ordeal, the executive has fully healed, minus having limited mobility in his fractured wrist because obviously he couldn't set it correctly.
Have you ever watched those Bear Grylls shows or any of those stuck in the wilderness things? And, I mean, I'll get 5 minutes into this and go, there's no way.
Yeah,
I would just lay down and and die. I mean, there would be nothing. I can't conceive of it.
No,
I know your brain does things in survival mode that you wouldn't ever think of in just regular walking around mode. But man, I look at that and go, I would just sort of just surrender.
What I would do is I would use, the sticks or whatever, to start digging a shallow grave and just lay in it and just, write a note, cover me when you find me.
Start burying yourself in leaves.
Yeah, exactly. I'm done. See you later. Mm-hmm. I mean, when I watch Naked and Afraid, I'm done once they take their clothes off. Right. I wouldn't want to be nude around somebody that long.
Yeah, I'll just lay here till a cow eats me.
Let the wild feral cows just take over. It'll be more delicious beef for the next person.
I surrender.
That's got a distinct taste of Johnny Molson there in that cow and that steak. I wonder what happened there. He must have gone hiking and lost his way. So, congratulations to Jeff Hahn. You survived that ordeal. You're better than me. I would have been like, see you later.
Yep.
Just go on. Leave me behind. God, why is everything so serious?
I don't know.
It's not that serious of a show.
I don't have anything serious to say to match up to this music.
I don't either.
I don't think anybody does.
No. They make it sound like they do, but it's all just blah, 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 blah.
There's nothing serious going on.
No, nothing in the world.
I'm watching Gaza get blown up over your shoulder here on CNN.
There's nothing serious. Yeah. Santos and all that kind of stuff. Yeah. Nothing serious in the world. We're the oasis in the desert of seriousness, is what we like to say. Mike Wimacher along with Johnny Molson. And in the workplace now, you're getting an influx of younger people coming in. And with that, there's different languages, right, that people use, the different slang and everything else. And apparently, there's some that annoy the older generation more than others when it comes to the workplace.
And please call us if you've got something like that.
Yeah, exactly. 217-629-7970 is the number to join the conversation. This is a new survey from a language learning platform, Preply, that let corporate employees call out their 20-something coworkers over their, quote, overused generational jargon. Okay, how old are you when you have to say, it's overused generational jargon?
What happens, because it hasn't happened to me, I remember being young and talking like an idiot. I mean, did everyone forget that we all did that?
Yes, every generation has their...
Of course.
I mean, if you look back, the people who are now judging this generation were probably the same people using Groovy Man and like all that stuff, right?
Yeah, I mean, we all went through the 80s and 90s when
totally tubular and
bogue,
bogue, totally bogus.
Yeah,
but we forget that. We just get so upset. So, 92% of 20-somethings claim to use corporate jargon at work. However, 20% of them say these buzzwords confuse them. Here are some of the ones that kind of really. The no-no list. This was the no-no list of like what the older generation can't stand that the younger generation uses at work.
All right.
The first one, and I think all of us are kind of over this one, but it's not going away anytime soon. Goat.
Oh, yeah.
Yo, you're the goat of
right.
Everything. We've overused it to the point where everything's a goat now, and not everything's a goat.
Yeah, not even goats are goats.
No, not anymore. They're not even the greatest animals of all time. Right. No, thank you. Slay is one that is starting to bug people now.
Why would that bug people? I think that's a great word. That's a great expression when someone's doing something awesome.
Yes, I love that one. Yeah. But it's bugging older people of like, you slay.
Why though? Why does that get under somebody's skin?
I don't know.
You say, what does that mean? Oh, well, it kind of means, it's awesome. It's really amazing.
Yeah, you're kicking butt.
Yeah. And you go, oh, okay, now I know what that means.
Isn't that much even better than like, oh, boy, they're really exceeding expectation?
Yeah.
I would rather hear someone say, you know what? You're slaying it out there.
Yeah.
That's so much cooler than like, I really appreciate your hard work. You've exceeded all expectations. Like, that's just,
Sure, you're sitting in an employee review, like a quarterly review.
Oh, my God.
Guy with white hair and bald and everything is looking at you and says, well, I just got to tell you, Michael, this quarter, you've slayed.
Thank you.
It's like, thank you.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Go out there, and I want you to slay twice as hard.
Boom. That'd be even better than what's going on. 217-629-7970. There's some terms that bug you. This one, I find myself using it. I get why it may be annoying. Sus. That's a little sus right there.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Where people are just like, maybe there's an office romance going on. Be like, hey, did you see what's going on with Timmy and Jill? That's a little sus.
Yeah.
I mean, which for those who don't know means suspicious or suspect. So they're tired of that. I haven't used this one before, but in emails or messages back and forth, FR.
Yeah.
Which is for real.
For real.
Yeah. But I have not seen that one before, but I can see where it pop up.
Yeah. I've seen it. I've seen it more in text, I guess.
Yeah, than actual emails. Another one that people are in the office that people are being bugged by, vibing. Everything's a vibe now. Have you noticed that, though, too?
Yeah.
That's made a comeback. The vibe was a thing back in the day. Like, I love the vibe of this place.
Yeah, your aesthetic vibes.
Yes, and now it's like, this whole... How many times have you heard, like, if you've read reviews of different places, it's like, this restaurant is blah, blah, blah. It's a total vibe.
It's a total vibe.
It's a vibe. There's just a vibe to that place.
Yeah, it gets used, like goat, it gets used to the point where it becomes meaningless.
Yeah, the next one on the list is flex.
Yeah.
That's an odd flex, like, look at that flex over there by, Billy over at the like he knows how to work that copier better than anybody.
But the thing is, that's a great word to use for somebody who thinks they're doing something impressive.
Correct.
It's
not.
Like, would you just stop with the flex?
Correct.
And it really does describe exactly what's going on.
Yeah.
Because we all know those kinds of overly cocky people who just think that, and it's like that's all you're really doing is you're like an oiled up bodybuilder, but you don't really have the physique, and you're looking at yourself in the mirror.
You're right. It is that person.
That's what you're saying to them.
Yeah, it's that person who has had just like kind of. I don't want to say sense of entitlement, but an inflated sense of self is the flex person. Hi, you're on WMAY.
Yeah, I can't stand the cray-cray.
Is cray-cray still a thing people are using? I thought that kind of went away for a while.
I sure hope it did. I hate it.
I'm with you on the cray-cray. Thank you very much for the phone call.
It's one too many crays.
Yeah.
You can just say crazy.
That's totally cray.
You haven't really saved any time. Just say that's crazy.
Yeah.
Or cray, it takes longer.
Yeah, or even just say that's cray. Like, you don't need to say cray-cray. Glow up is one that people are upset about, which is, I don't mind that one. Like, hey, instead of zhuzhing it up, you just glow that thing up a little bit for me.
Yeah, I don't know that you're using that right, but I think, you're in the ballpark.
Yeah, exactly. You glow up. Yeah, you zhuzh up a little bit. Glow up some.
Yeah, but you don't tell someone to, anyway.
Yeah, exactly. Look at us talking about a couple of old dudes talking about
here.
Here's the one that confused me for the longest time, and I admit I had to ask somebody in the younger generation of I thought I knew what it meant, because in the back and forth of conversation, I assumed I had gleaned what it was, but I had to ask to make sure. The use of bet.
I was just going to say that one.
That's the one that throws me for a loop.
I'm still not convinced I know what it is.
It's another way of saying yes or I agree.
Yeah?
That's what it says. Bet.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
because I think that's the way it's been described, but I still don't quite get it.
Because I would hear somebody younger in these hallways when we had more people, and they would be having a conversation, and I could hear us keep saying bet, and was an excited tone.
Right.
So I assumed it meant something good, and then the more I put two and two together, I assumed I agree or yes was it, but it's an interesting how bet became yes I don't know.
That's my question.
I don't know how many
exactly
that
what's the
another one too is basic, which we've seen before, and I will fully admit I'm pretty basic in a lot of things. When it comes to brunch, pretty basic. Give me avocado toast. During pumpkin spice season, I'm basic.
See, I don't think anything you're describing there is basic. There's a lot going on there.
But
it's girly. I'll say that.
You're not wrong. I will fully admit you're not wrong there. But I think basic is the norm, right?
Okay.
I mean, I know pumpkin spice is outside our normal, but during the pumpkin spice season...
You think you're being basic by having it.
But exactly, because everyone's having it, then it's basic. When everyone starts liking something or everyone's doing something, that's when it becomes basic. So, if you're, i.e., let's say back in the early 2000s or whatever, and you're a Nickelback fan or even a Dave Matthews Band fan, you're pretty basic, because everybody at that time liked them.
Because I just order just a regular coffee, and I think that's about as basic as it comes.
But see, that's not basic. That's anti-basic. That's anti-basic. You're so outside the norm now. Okay. No one has coffee anymore,
Come
Johnny.
back around,
yeah, exactly. Glow up your coffee order, bro. Hi, you're on WMAY.
This is one that my kids say, and it bugs me every time. That's random.
Random.
Yeah, they do say that, don't they?
Maybe I'll ask them a question about something, and they'll go, "That's random."
Random.
Yeah, well, at least they say random. Not said, well, rando.
Yeah.
Like you just say, they even this kind of cut that from that's random to rando. I've heard that before.
And when you try to get them to break it down and say, well, tell me why you said that was random, I never really get a satisfactory answer.
I just say, are you saying I'm uncool?
Yeah, well, I mean, at some age, you got to admit you're just not.
Right.
And part of that is listening to us two.
Yeah.
That doesn't make that your coolest factor is not going up, but we appreciate the phone call.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I hope this was helpful to everybody to listen to us stumble through whatever
that's
this is.
so random. Well, you've learned to maybe be able. You have the holidays coming up, right?
Right.
And you may have some younger nieces and nephews or your brother's kids that you can't really connect with, and now at least you know some phrases. Or if they're saying these, you now know whether they're making fun of you or actually complimenting you.
And when you hear them, at least acknowledge that you did it too, because
Correct.
you know you did. I know you did. I haven't even met you, and I know you did. Because we all did.
Yes.
We all talked like an idiot when we were kids, and then you don't. I mean, and it's not like
that's debatable. I don't know if I'm pretty sure I still talk like an idiot most mornings here on this morning show.
Right.
But I will say this. If you come
by the way, your humble brag is really getting a little bit too ridiculous. You really need to settle down.
Oh, thank you. I'm sorry.
Really, this whole routine of everything that you do sucks. I mean, we get it, but you don't always have to point to it.
Okay. It's just inherent.
It's a little sus to me.
It's inherent now.
It's a little random, little sus.
It's a little sus. All right. It's a weird flex, too.
You're not slaying right now.
No, I am not. I'm definitely not slaying. And I will say this. When you come with the mashed potatoes to the table, and you're like, I want everyone to know these were handmade mashed potatoes. I don't do boxed potatoes. More serious stuff. Come on, knock it off. It is Mike Wimmacher and Johnny Molson with you here on this Friday morning, trying to have a little bit of fun. 217-629-7970 is the phone number to join in the conversation. In a recent poll of 2,000 adults, we always have a disclaimer that, these poll numbers, to take that small number and extrapolate it out to everybody, a little bit of a fool's errand, but here we go. They say that a third of Americans believe they can be the sole survivor of the apocalypse.
A third.
So 1 out of every 3 say, I'm going to be the sole survivor.
And how are we defining apocalypse?
Well, a catastrophic event.
Okay.
That would,
meteor strike,
nuclear, zombie, apes taking over, like Planet of the Apes, whatever it may be. Yeah. Any type of a apocalypse event.
Noah-level flood.
Correct.
Okay.
1 out of 3 people say,
figure it out.
Yeah, we'll be able to figure it out. They look how this would be the case and found that these respondents believe they'd outlast everyone because of their strong survival skills and adaptability. So a third say they would, and 3 in 10 see themselves as, quote, the underdog of the apocalypse.
Which means what?
Which means kind of the Eugene, if we're going to use, The Walking Dead as a launching point. Mm-hmm. The individual who, in actual life, didn't really have much of a purpose.
One of the Mad Max parasites.
Right, exactly. And you wouldn't think would be able to survive to hang on. But would be able to.
Okay, all right.
While 33% of respondents believe they're the top dog who would survive at all. Now, here's the interesting part, and I want to hear from people at 217-629-7970. Then they asked them to put together their ideal survival team.
Okay.
That would be built to get them through the apocalypse. Here is what the overall sentiment was from these respondents of what would be their ideal apocalypse team. Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson.
Okay.
Chuck Norris. John Cena.
Yeah.
All 3 real people.
Yeah.
Right? And The Rock, I understand. I understand those choices, right? We had the Chuck Norris memes from years ago.
Chuck Norris is old now.
He is.
I don't think he's the Chuck Norris you think he is.
I think if he tries to do a roundhouse kick, he throws his hip out of socket.
I don't think he's really.
I don't think he's the Walker Texas Ranger,
but
you remember.
Cena and Johnson, all right.
The other 2, though, I don't think people realize are not actual real individuals. because they chose Superman and MacGyver. I don't think that's
Superman.
I don't think that's how it works. Of course, we all would survive if Superman was in our survival team.
We wouldn't be in this position at all.
Right. If we had Superman...
We would have stopped the whole thing before it happened.
Exactly. I never thought of that. Yeah. Why the hell would Superman be in your apocalypse team? He should have stopped it.
Yeah, he goes and punches the meteor, or he spins the world backwards and brings Lois Lane back to life.
And if the apocalypse did happen, that SOB was probably in the Fortress of Solitude. I wouldn't want him around.
Tell you what. He was involved in an apocalypse, and what did he do? He left the planet.
Yeah, correct.
He didn't stick around.
No.
He got in a little spaceship.
He's a front runner. Yeah, you're right. Even though he's a baby, he bugged out. So you don't want him.
You're Superman. I'm leaving.
You don't want him. Yeah. And MacGyver is also not a real. Who would be part of your survival team?
I mean, I can appreciate a MacGyver type of person.
Correct.
If we're going for that.
So Martha Stewart. She can turn stuff into things that you wouldn't expect. I don't know how much, turning a doily or making a doily out of your old curtains would help out in the apocalypse, but she's someone who has those type of skills.
I mean, we talked about it a little bit ago with the guy that was stuck in the forest with the tadpoles, but I mean, I do want a Bear Grylls type person in my back pocket.
Yeah, you want somebody like that. I'm trying to think.
Somebody who can point at a bush of berries and say, you can eat those.
Yeah, you want someone who knows their way around actual survival.
Because I would eat a poison berry right out of the chute. I wouldn't even know. I would just those are berries.
And the cows would find you again.
And I would die.
What's the actor's name that played Rick Grimes? What's that guy?
Andrew Lincoln?
Yeah, I want Andrew Lincoln. I know he played Rick Grimes, but you think he would at least glean some survival skills from the years he's been on the show.
Well, and I was thinking about that because, he's a great survivor in the show, but then off camera, he's a very proper British man. No, people don't realize he's from England. And so
I forgot he was.
It's so funny to watch him on the show of, I'm Rick Grimes and I got my gun and I'm going to shoot a zombie.
Wasn't he in Love Actually, a movie I've never seen?
I think so. But then you see him on an interview. It's like, yes,
I never thought about that part.
I enjoy doing this. Like, nobody from England's going to survive.
No, they haven't survived much of anything.
I missed tea time today and they would fall over.
Right, exactly. But at least you would want somebody who's been on a show like that, I think, that knows the ins and outs, at least would have gleaned something from survivalism.
629-7970. I'm interested, while a third is a high number, it does mean most of us aren't going to make it.
Which would probably be an apocalypse. If we all make it, it wouldn't be an apocalypse.
And I think a third is high, but I think maybe a third of those third would probably do it.
I don't think a third is high. I'm surprised it's that low, to be honest with you.
In confidence?
I think a lot of us think of ourselves more highly than we actually are.
No, I think everyone is me. I'm the everyman, Mike. I don't think you understand. And everyone is relating, going, I would eat the poison berries and just die.
Yeah, I think we've established from the earlier tadpole story that both of us would just, the minute that meteorite was going through the sky, it'd be lights out for us. We wouldn't even be able to make it through the first day.
If I hear in a storm a transformer blow, I'm in the basement with a rosary, and it's like, you know what? We're
at end of times here. We're at end of times. Exactly.
I saw a blue flash.
I did find it interesting, though, that the apocalypse team, not a single female. Like, you wouldn't want, Scarlett Johansson or something who played Black Widow. Like, none of those individuals. Tomb Raider, nothing like that. It was all just big, beefy dudes and MacGyver. Right? I mean, you had Superman, Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, John Cena, Chuck Norris, and then MacGyver.
Because when the chips are down, we all become George Santos, I think is what happens.
That is exactly what transpires in that particular situation. But I found that interesting that they picked two people that aren't real. That you want in your survival party. By the way, Batman would be way better than Superman when it came to surviving the apocalypse.
Yeah, you know what? You're right.
He'd be way better than Superman.
Superman would stop the apocalypse. Batman would survive the apocalypse.
Once Superman turns tails and run like he has in the past.
He's got a history.
He's got a history of not sticking around through apocalypses. You would need Batman and his certain set of skills in order to survive.
Yeah, exactly.
So there you go. That settled that debate once and for all.
But I like that it's something we can count on. It's like you're a hot Andy Williams.
Thank you for saying I'm hot. I appreciate that. Well, I love Andy Williams.
Nice that we can get to kind of expect it now each year. You're like a hot Andy Williams.
Okay, thanks for that wonderful comparison.
Yeah, absolutely. That'd be something you do every year, kind of like you're a hot Andy Williams.
It's the most wonderful.
Johnny, that was a good pickup line you had there.
We did. We had a really good run of good-looking actresses who were in Hallmark movies, and I was comparing them to Andy Williams, and they all seem to appreciate that.
Alicia Witt, Vivica A. Fox, and Jodie Sweetin right there for you. But 217-629-7970, I want to hear from someone that actually enjoys those Hallmark Christmas movies.
I know they're out there.
I want to hear from you. And if you are one of those, you have an opportunity to maybe make $2,000 to watch and rank 12 Hallmark holiday movies. A subscription box company is seeking a, quote, special Christmas movie maven. Bloomsy Box said the chosen candidate will also...
I'm sorry, what is it?
It is Bloomsy Box.
What is Bloomsy Box?
Bloomsy Box is apparently a subscription box that is going to give the candidate a ample supply of Ghirardelli hot cocoa and 2 pairs of fuzzy socks to guarantee a cozy watching experience.
Okay.
The film fan will be asked to rank each movie by criteria including festivity factor, predictability quotient. Boof. Don't we all know how those Hallmark Christmas movies end?
Yeah, it's a fish out of, it's either a fish out of water guy or a fish out of water girl.
They come back home.
There's somebody who's either from the city and they've moved to the country, or from the country and they've moved to the city. They shouldn't be there. They don't want to be there. They hate everything.
Something's going on with their family.
Yeah.
There's also conflict there of they had to come back.
Their kids are mad at them about something, but then there's some starry-eyed guy or gal in the office
there to save them.
Rekindles their spirit of Christmas, and it changes them around.
You also have to rate on a chemistry check to make sure that those two actually feel like a real couple.
Sure.
Tearjerker test and replay value. Now, here are the movies they've chosen. And 217-629-7970, I want to hear from you if you are a fan of this, because I can't stomach it for more than about 10 minutes.
Well, and
but I'm jaded.
Is there one that we should see? Because it's funny. I don't know. Well, you say you can't stomach it. Have you ever actually tried to stomach it?
Yes.
You have? Okay.
Yes. I've been in situations where I've had friends and gone over to their place for a holiday, not a holiday party, but just kind of, getting together, and they're watching it, or it'll be on in the background somewhere, and I try.
Okay.
Right? But I am just such a jaded individual, and my taste in movie, I love Pulp Fiction, John Wick, so it's just, and I don't mind a schmaltzy one, but it's just so patently schmaltz in these things. But
Mike is so jaded that when he hears the story of the Nativity, he goes, "Oh, come on."
You're exactly right.
This again.
I'd be like, why didn't Joseph take the arm of the innkeeper, flip it around, and hit him with the staff like John Wick would, and have himself a room? So here's the movies you are going to have to watch if you are wanting to be part of Bloomsy Box's Christmas movie maven. 217-629-7970. The movies chosen is Most Wonderful Time of the Year from 2008, A Crown for Christmas from 2015. Any of these sound like ones you'd like to watch? That's fine.
No.
Here's one that, you know what, I may give a shot to, because it seems like it involves a cat. The 9 Lives of Christmas from 2014.
Okay.
Christmas Getaway, 2017. A Journey Back to Christmas, 2016. Ghosts of Christmas Always from 2022. Okay, wait a second.
Can you pull up a trailer for that?
Yes.
Go ahead and read the list. I'll look for it.
Okay, yeah. Here you go. Ghost of Christmas Always would be the one to I want that trailer so bad. Also, 3 Wise Men and a Baby from 2022. A Royal Christmas from 2014. North Pole, which could also be a different type of movie from 2014. And Christmas Train. Oh, there it is. Sneak peek, Ghost of Christmas Always. Where's the actual trailer? Okay, here we go.
No, we gotta wait.
We gotta wait for Steph Curry. We have to wait for Steph Curry. In addition to the $2,000 payment, the chosen candidate will also receive a 12-month flower box subscription from Blues. So it's a flower place.
Okay.
And so you have applications through December 3rd. So 217-629-7970. Are you an individual that actually enjoys these Hallmark movies? Are you ready for this?
Yeah.
All right, here we go. This is Ghosts of Christmas Always. A sneak peek.
One of the key moments, apparently.
We go back to the part about the ghosts, because... Wait a minute.
Ghost?
It's nearly Christmas. There are 3 of you.
Oh, good. You get it.
Oh, my God.
Richard. She's passed.
And you are...
Ghost of Christmas Present.
So thus far, why is it Ghost of Christmas Always? By the way, it's the dad from Family Matters.
Right.
Also from the Christmas movie Die Hard, which is a much better choice than this Ghost of Christmas Always.
I mean, what?
So it's an inner city retelling. Guys in
I've
an...
seen the play. I have seen all the movies, and the one with Bill Murray is actually my favorite. Although the Carrie Fisher one is really good, a quiet little movie, underrated certainly. And the one where they all come together and they're like singing in the end about how grateful they are.
This is only 90 seconds. I can't do it. I can't do it.
I'm already checked out.
I can't do it.
And it's 50 seconds in, and you have to watch 12 of these things all the way through? That's not worth $2,000.
Think about it, but wait a minute. Am I Scrooge?
Ghosts of Christmas Always. Part of Countdown to Christmas. Only on Hallmark.
Ooh,
okay, so that was what was supposed to sell us. Like that was the best. That was the sizzle reel of Ghosts of Christmas Always. That's the sizzle reel for that thing.
So it's like this hyper-aware. I know I'm in the. I know I'm in A Christmas Carol, but I don't believe I'm in A Christmas Carol. Oh my God, there's so much meta going on.
Oh, here's another 30 seconds of it. Ghost of Christmas Always.
You are.
Ghost of Christmas Present.
Get ready.
Whoa.
For a Dickens of a romance.
You are pretty magical.
I just get to use.
Wait a second.
I love Christmas and I hate this.
Yes, same here.
For a Dickens of a romance.
I think you are pretty magical.
I just get to use magic. It never gets old.
Ghosts of Christmas Always. All new Sunday, October 30th at 8.
He falls for one of the ghosts?
Yes.
He falls in love with one of the ghosts?
That's why it's Ghost of Christmas Always, because she always is there for Christmas. He falls in love with the Ghost of Christmas Present in a Dickens of a romance.
But she's dead. I mean, isn't that a little weird?
Wow.
She's dead.
I didn't even think about it. Hallmark is terrible. That's not good.
How do you overlook that part?
How do you overlook the necrophilia of your entire premise of your movie? What kind of Christmas movie are you trying to portray here, Hallmark?
Hell.
I thought you were family programming and you're promoting this. Oh, God.
It's worse than I thought it was because I've never actually sat and watched one. I've seen the commercials go by and they just bounce off me.
Yeah,
it's actually worse.
It is. Like I said, I've given one like 10 minutes, and it's just I can't. You know what? We'll take a break. You know what? And we come back. I had a different topic, but I kind of want to find 9 Lives of Christmas to see what that is. Mike Wimacher, Johnny Molson with you on a Friday. You know how sometimes when you're on the internet, you go down a rabbit hole? We've opened Pandora's box of the crappy Hallmark Christmas. But if you want to defend them, if you watch them, 217-629-7970, you were saying.
That's what I'm thinking. I mean, obviously people out there like them. There's a market for this. But it's really amazing. First of all, how predictable they are.
Correct.
How horrible they are.
Yes.
And so you sit there and go,
but they still crank them out.
I can be a sucker for a sweet Christmas movie.
Yes, I'm with you. But there's got to be more heart to it for me. I feel
this is about as surface level as it comes.
For me, I feel like we've already hit. There doesn't need to be more Christmas movies made.
Right.
Pinnacles have already been hit. Right. The original, which is while it's not a movie, it's a Christmas special. But the original Grinch, very good. Christmas Story, Christmas Vacation, Elf, Miracle on 34th Street, the original, not the innumerable amount of remakes. Mm-hmm. Those all hit the right tone. The Holiday is a sweet Christmas holiday theme movie with Cameron Diaz and Jack Black and Kate Winslet. I enjoy that one. But these seem to just exist to be saccharine for the point of being saccharine, right?
There was a great a version of It's a Wonderful Life, a TV movie in 1977 where they flipped the genders, where it was a woman, and the cast is bananas.
Okay.
So it was a made-for-TV movie where Marlo Thomas is the Jimmy Stewart character.
Interesting.
Yeah. And she's like a mechanic, and her business is failing. It's the late 70s. But it's got Marlo Thomas, Wayne Rogers from MASH, Cloris Leachman, Orson Welles.
Oh, my God. He must be Clarence.
Doris Roberts. And it just goes on and on of all these crazy. And Christopher Guest is in it. But it's horrible. It's absolutely unwatchable.
Hi, you're on WMAY.
Morning, gentlemen. So you forgot one of the most important Christmas movies of all time, Home Alone.
Oh, yes.
Sure.
But I really feel that the reason why they're pumping out all these Hallmark, flops, we'll just call them that, is to get an actor, their dues. You got to pay your dues and be in a Hallmark flick before you can actually make it big.
Well, there's the opposite, too. It's the people who are past their prime that want one more chance of glory.
Well, if Cloris Leachman was in a Hallmark film like that, I mean, come on, you got to give her some type of credit.
Right.
But it's also basically women's smut is exactly what it is. I mean, and you really see how many books they're pumping out, too. Yeah. I mean, that's all that it is. It's catering to the niche, and
that's a great point. Of like, if Hallmark put these behind a paywall, like on an OnlyFans, would people be subscribing to it? I think there would be some.
Yeah,
OnlyFans would not be a $2.5 billion profit industry. It would definitely be double for sure.
Very true.
Because everybody
kind of weird
knows
how you readily had that number.
Well, I was watching, Joe Rogan, and they brought it up last year. Because last year, OnlyFans profited $2.5 billion, and but no, because it would double because everybody knows that OnlyFans is what guys pay for.
Yeah.
So if they really wanted to do that and double, then they'd be good to go.
I like to think.
Appreciate the phone call.
I like to think more of the fairer sex, but man, that's just disappointing that there are women out there that really enjoy this. So what did you find?
I found here this is the 9 Lives of Christmas.
Okay.
This is one of the 12. If you're just joining us, there's a subscription service that is like a flower service. Bloomsy Box is offering you $2,000 to watch 12 of this schlock and rank them on certain criteria. You get $2,000 for doing so. This one actually stars Brandon Routh, who was at one point Superman, for crying out loud.
Right, yeah.
So here is 9 Lives of Christmas.
A Hallmark Channel movie that's a perfect holiday romance.
Okay. First, could they stop it? The first one was a Dickens of a romance. Yeah. Now we have the perfect romance.
No, they can't stop.
No.
There's an apartment upstairs with a separate entrance.
Do you allow cats?
Allow them. We require them.
Kimberly Sustad, Brandon Routh, Gregory Harrison.
You can't decide not to fall in love.
It's Christmas, time for miracles. Sometimes love finds you when you weren't even looking.
The 9 Lives of Christmas.
It hit every note.
It did.
That you said.
And I bet you I will put $10,000 on the table right now that says there isn't a Hallmark movie that's been made that doesn't include the line, sometimes love finds you when you're not even looking. I bet every movie has one of those.
Or not only that, or it's Christmas. It's the time for miracles.
Right.
That's going to be in all of them as well. By the way, Brandon Routh in that particular movie plays a firefighter.
Okay.
That finds love. All right.
And he loves cats.
Yeah. Okay. It's just a convenient plot device. Mm-hmm. Here's one called 3 Wise Men and a Baby. And the first character to show up is a firefighter.
Please take care of Thomas. I'll be back by Christmas.
All new Saturday, November 19th. 3 brothers discover a baby. What?
3 brothers discover a baby.
Oh.
Now, I will let you know, immediately the next shot is them trying to give the baby a bath in the kitchen sink.
Okay.
And the one brother has it on the spray part of the sink instead, where you can put, and he sprays
himself.
He sprays his brother in the face.
Okay, and is there a zany diaper moment too?
Oh, wait a minute, wait for it.
Possibly go wrong.
No hands. It's just a baby. Just a baby.
I think he needs a little diaper change.
Ah, there it comes.
We may have to evacuate the store.
Oh, because we're men and we can't figure out diapers.
The most wonderful delivery of the season.
It's shaping up to be an unexpected Christmas.
3 Wise Men and a Baby. All new Saturday, November 19th. Part of Countdown to Christmas.
Good Lord. Why? You know what? I'm out. Look, does anyone watch these to enjoy them, or do they watch them ironically because how bad they are?
That's a good question. And I'm a decent writer. That's what I do for a living.
Yes,
I write things.
Yeah.
I don't think I could do this. I don't think I could actually, even to mock it, I don't know that I could do it. I don't know that I could write that poorly.
You couldn't write a parody of it because it's so bad.
Even though I know what all the notes are. I mean, that's...
Yeah, anytime, any of these, I don't care. They're interchangeable.
Yeah.
Right? I think if you were to rate one on all these quotients that Bloomsy Box wants you to do so, you would have rated the whole thing.
Yeah.
One of them is all the same. It's just the locale somewhat changes. To your point, it's either in the city or it's in the country, and it's someone that you knew in high school that broke your heart that you somehow go back to, or you just got jaded by your big city lover boy, cheated on you, and you hate men, but there's still a good one back in the country or the small town you moved back to.
Yeah, it's somebody in a situation that they didn't ever expect they'd be in, like having a baby.
What?
I don't know what to do with a baby.
And I'm a man and I'm dumb. What? I don't know diapers. Oh, you're going to have a diaper change. Evacuate the store.
How did it end up on my head?
Yeah, I don't know. Crazy hijinks. And, oh, God, I couldn't even. Like you said, you're a writer, and I've written things before, too. But not even I would look at that and go, this is just too on the nose.
I'd love to know, first of all, how many exist. But secondly, it's just there's clearly a market for it.
Yes.
And there are people who love these things.
These are just the Hallmark ones. Lifetime has a whole bunch of them as well.
You're right about that.
So maybe that's a different episode that will do a deeper. You know what? I think we just found a podcast that we could do.
Sure.
Besides the Too Good for Radio podcast, we can watch all these and review them and just tear them new ones.
That hurts.
Yeah. And the thing is, we hook people in to think we're actually going to be complimentary.
Yeah.
And then 5 minutes in, they'd kind of feel like they'd feel about these particular movies.
So I got other things I got to do. I got stuff.
I don't have enough time to sit through.
Like a cabinet in my kitchen I got to close.
There's there's siding I need to power wash or something. WMAY, Mike Wimacher and Johnny Molson with you here this morning. We've gone down the Hallmark Christmas movie rabbit hole, and we have someone on the line that is here to defend the Hallmark movies.
We're looking for.
Yes. Hi, you're on WMAY.
Hey, I love Hallmark movies. They get me ready for Christmas. And another thing, this morning one wasn't like all the other one. It's called The Perfect Christmas. It was about a family, that spent Christmas together, and
oh yeah.
And
were they not together and they came together?
No, they were all.
Oh, they were all together. Okay.
Yeah, it's a family that comes to visit, and she has to make room for them in her house. She wasn't expecting them.
I see.
And her husband didn't know she's pregnant because they had this plan.
Oh, a surprise! See, that's like a little nativity thing. That's the Christmas miracle we were looking for. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a really good movie.
Yeah. So
there's nobody that got together, split, or anything. They were always together. But how they dealt with the family.
And so, is it just the warm, fuzzy feelings is why you enjoy it and gets you all feeling good for the holidays? Is that what draws you to these movies?
Is there one we should see?
Yes, it's called The Perfect Christmas.
The one she just said.
That's the one we should go see? Uh-huh.
Yeah, okay. The Perfect Christmas. Okay.
It was on this morning. It has nothing to do about lovers or anything. It's just a family, and his side shows up. And, some of the people were invited, but then her side, some of the people that weren't supposed to come on her side came, and they had to sit everybody, and it was really good.
Is there enough food to go around? Do they figure out a way to make peanut butter and jelly sandwiches?
She was doing a play. She was doing a Christmas thing. She was in charge of a Christmas thing, and how she had to make her dad Santa Claus and his mother Mrs. Claus.
So
at the concert.
Okay.
All right.
It's a fish out of water thing.
We'll look for that.
Yeah, we'll look for that one. Perfect Christmas. Thank you very much for the phone call. So there, we heard from a caller at 217-629-7970.
There's obviously a market for it.
Yeah, there is. And we go down this rabbit hole. I wanted to move on, but then I just typed in, because we got a couple of texts of like every Hallmark movie ever. And so I just typed in Hallmark Christmas movies, and they actually have the slate of the ones that are coming out this year.
Oh, okay.
So I wanted to just go through, because not only does it give you the title, it gives you the synopsis of some of them. And I just wanted to go through them very quickly here. 217-629-7970, the phone number. If you also are a Hallmark Christmas movie fan, let us know why. We really appreciate that call. We understand why people go to it, right? But it's just so bad. Here is Checking It Twice. This one is about a journeyman hockey player who falls for a real estate agent.
And he keeps looking at her. He keeps checking her. And then he's like, hey, I'm looking at you. I'm checking you first, and I'm checking you twice.
He's a hockey player.
So he's
checking.
Right, I know that.
But he's checking her out.
Okay.
Yeah, she's in a career. So he's a journeyman hockey player. He falls to this real estate who's in a career crisis when he's traded to her hometown and moves into the cottage in her hockey-loving family's backyard. Ladies and gentlemen, it's Checking It Twice. Let's see. Where Are You Christmas? When Andy wishes for a year without Christmas, she wakes up in a world of black and white. She must work together with the town mechanic to restore Christmas. Let's see. Here's another one. Oh, no. I don't even... This looks like a Shriners commercial for this one. This one is Under the Christmas Sky. Kat is an esteemed astrophysicist who is scheduled for her first trip into space next year until an accident grounds her. While on leave, coming to terms with the reality that her dream of being an astronaut is over, she volunteers at the local planetarium. There, she's paired up with a by-the-book David to work on an exhibit opening right before Christmas. Will the stars align to bright these two holidays together?
I know that's a sentence. I have no idea. I cannot follow a word you just said. I have no idea what's going on there.
Because I didn't explain it right?
No. It's just you read it verbatim. I still don't know what was happening there.
She wanted to go to space. She got an accident, couldn't. She goes to the planetarium and she finds a by-the-book guy.
And the rocket runs into Santa's sleigh and knocks him off course.
And Rudolph dies, becomes a ghost, and some guy dates it.
Okay.
Hi, you're on WMAY.
Hi.
Yes.
I was just on the line, and I was wondering how I get the number to sign up for the Hallmark movie for the $2,000.
Oh, for this contest?
For the $2,000. Yeah, you'd be right in the wheelhouse. You go to, it's not a phone number. You have to go to the website of Bloomsy Box. It's BLOOMSY Box, and then you can sign up there. You have till December 3rd.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
No problem. Do it. And
you're going to win.
If you win, check back in with us.
Okay, I will.
Thank you.
Hey.
Good for her.
Hi, you're on WMAY.
Hey, guys. So, basically, it's any good rom-com if you ordered it through Wish.
Yeah.
It kind of is.
Yeah, that's exactly right.
I mean, and the lady caller the last time, I mean, that's your typical audience. That's exactly
right.
What
Yeah, exactly.
They exist, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, and to be honest, the guy's version of this is National Lampoon's Christmas.
Yeah, I mean,
because they have their miracle, the family from out of town, Cousin Eddie.
True.
I mean, you have your big old heart moment whenever the house is lit up. And, and then, of course, Grandma starts singing the Star Spangled Banner because, Santa Claus flew across the sky. But, I mean, that is your, I guess, comparison for it.
But they stopped at one, I think, is the thing, though. There's not 170 of them.
Right, exactly. Appreciate the phone call.
True.
Thank you. 217-629-7970. Here, before we, this is Joy Noel. When a romantic painting of a Christmas market
comes to life,
captures the imagination of a copy editor, she is sent to France with pragmatic reporter Mark to uncover the mystery behind the artist. Joy Noel. There's like 31 of these.
Yeah. Well, I just pulled up
God.
Okay.
I'm sorry. Flipping for Christmas.
Okay.
Do you know what this is about?
I'm guessing they are house flippers, right?
It's almost Christmas when busy realtor Abigail agrees to help her sister with, quote, the simple flip of a recently inherited home.
Little lick of paint and we're done.
Unfortunately, co-beneficiary Bo has other plans in mind. It's flipping for Christmas. I have to read them all like this. That's why you didn't get the last one.
Yeah, probably so, yeah. You have to read it in Hallmark announcer voice.
Here's one that's trying to be hip. Never been Christ. CHRIS''D.
Oh, okay.
Home for the holidays.
Because without the apostrophe, it's I've never been Christ.
Which is a whole different thing. That's on the Fox Network. Is that still a thing? Home for the holidays, BFFs Naomi and Liz reconnect with high school crush Chris Silver. A complex love triangle forms, forcing them to take stock of their lives and find the value of friendship. It's never been Chris'd. This holiday season on Hallmark. What were you going to say? Did you have something to add?
No,
I
pulled up. I was trying to figure out how many they've made.
Okay,
and
go
so
through it.
I pulled up the Wikipedia. I don't know. I pulled up the Wikipedia article on that, and just look how long this thing goes for. This is longer than. I mean, if you looked up. I don't know, the history of the Roman Empire, the page wouldn't be this long.
That's the longest in the start of the book of Genesis. And so-and-so begot so-and-so who begot so-and-so who begot so-and-so.
So I don't know what the number is, but it's obscene.
Last one here, and then we'll finally move on. This one is Everything Christmas.
Uh-oh.
Lori Jo's love for Christmas takes on a road trip to Yuletide Springs with her roommate Tori, where Christmas is celebrated year-round to participate in a long-standing town tradition to honor her late grandmother. Along the way, the friends meet Carl and Jason, and the foursome make stops during their journey to enjoy more small-town Christmas attractions. But when a series of events puts a damper on their plans, a little Christmas magic may put this trip back on the right path.
And the ones on Lifetime are exactly the same, except the woman gets punched in the mouth at some point.
Correct.
And then that's they have to add that part.
And at the end,
I'm never coming back to you.
At the end, she gets revenge by filling a stocking full of coal and beating the hell out of the guy.
Lighting it on fire.
Yeah, exactly. And then burning the house down. And that's your Christmas miracle. Oh, my God. Oh, this has been fun.
Yeah,
I've enjoyed this. I hope you have as well. And good luck to the individual who called in. I hope she gets Mike Wimacher, Johnny Molson, wrapping up a Friday edition of the program. Appreciate everyone calling in, joining the conversation. And if anything else from today, we prepared you that if you are going to a family gathering on Thanksgiving and a Hallmark movie is playing in the background, immediately leave the vicinity of that house or that room. Quite honestly.
Unless you got that nice lady from earlier to navigate for you.
That's true.
Because otherwise, she seems like she's curated and knows the good ones.
She's a Hallmark Sherpa.
Yeah.
She'll be like, no, bad, no, good. But as we, next week, traveling for Thanksgiving, you may be spending some time with family. But according to a new USA Today survey, nearly 85% of people surveyed admitted to lying or coming up with an excuse to get out of a family holiday event.
Wow, that's a high number.
85%. And I understand sometimes families can do more holiday events than they need to, because they weren't saying specifically Thanksgiving or Christmas or whatever, because sometimes you have the one Christmas and the... But that is a really high number of people that are trying to get out of hanging out with family.
So what is it? Is it the obligation? Is it the tension? Is it the awkwardness? What is it?
Yeah, the survey found that family issues, so like deep-seated issues in the family that inevitably someone brings up that they shouldn't, or immediately comes in guns a-blazing. They say that's part of it. Politics, money, and religion were among the argument-sparking hot topics around the holidays. 217-629-7970. How do you navigate it? Because inevitably you do have that one relative that just enjoys drama. How do you handle them?
Well, and we're in that arena of the big holidays. Thanksgiving, Christmas. There's large obligation. This is why I love 4th of July, because it's just hanging out.
Correct.
Eating things and then watching things explode.
And that's perfect. It's a perfect holiday.
And Thanksgiving should be like that too, where you're just eating food.
And thankful that you have a bountiful plate.
But man, it just really gets unnecessarily intense.
Here's the number that's even more stark than the 85% admitting to lying or coming up with something to get out of the holiday event. Only 12% of respondents said they don't argue with extended family over the holidays.
Really?
88% said they argue with their FAMU over the holidays. Only 12% have the decency to be like my family and look someone in the face that you have disdain for and smile. And then when you get in the car, go, that son of a...
That's the way to do it.
That's the way my dad handled it. Every year we had to go to my mom's house for Christmas Eve. My dad could not stand her. and the entire drive would be complaining. He got in that door. He
Perfect
sat
gentleman.
in the corner. Yep. Oh, how you doing today, Clem? Oh, yeah, great. Good to see you. I'm going to go watch TV. Then we come back, and then the minute we got in the car, I got freaking cashews in a book. It's just, and that's the way to handle it.
And this has been a thing, probably for almost a decade and a half now, of what do you do when you are at your family's house and somebody can't help themselves and they just drop a turd right in the middle of the table and say, let me tell you about Trump. And the whole thing just starts to fall apart. What do you do?
You just try to, you take the Johnny Molson. You just don't engage. Yeah. Because they're throwing that out there. They're throwing that out there to try to get you to engage.
They want to filibuster.
And the best is to try to change the subject as quickly as possible. Because I've already been told by my wife, and it's just a good rule of thumb for everyone, there'll be no politics talked. Because my political bend, as opposed to my father-in-law and the individual that will also be joining us at Thanksgiving that day, are diametrically opposite.
Okay.
And so I'm not going, because here's the thing, nothing's going to get solved.
Nobody wins.
You put that turd on the table, it just stinks for everyone, right? It's not flowery for one individual over the other.
There's always somebody that can't help themselves.
They have
it's never kind of a blatant thing, but you I don't know, you're putting gravy on the turkey and you spill it or something. It's like, oh, you must have had a Joe Biden moment there where you couldn't find the thing with the thing. And it's not necessary. Nobody was even talking about politics.
No, but they just shoehorn it in there.
And they just figure out a way and a reason to say it, and you just go, what are we supposed to launch into?
Look at the size of that turkey. How'd you afford it in this economy? It's like, shut up. No one means that. By the way, they say when there's an argument, they say dad is usually at the center of it. Nearly 40% of survey respondents said that they were most likely to get in an argument with their father over the holidays, followed by a grandmother, grandfather, and then an aunt.
Isn't that sad?
Out of the people we surveyed, 13% said they don't argue with any family members. And by the way, what do you think America's favorite relative is? When it comes to, mom, dad, grandma, grandpa, aunt, uncle.
I think it's always an uncle. Am I right about that?
Boom. Yeah. Uncles are America's favorite. While 23% of people said that they were most likely to get in an argument with their uncle, 19% of respondents also pointed to uncles as their favorite extended family members, followed by cousins.
Yeah.
Only 4% of respondents said nephews are their favorite family member to see.
Oh, him again.
Yeah, this guy.
Wow.
Yikes. So there you go. 14% of people surveyed said that they eat Thanksgiving dinner between 3 and 4. 13% say between 2 and 3, and 12% of respondents favor a time to scarf things down between 6 and 7 p.m.
Ooh.
That's a long time to have to deal with family.
Yeah, you're walking around and talking to each other.
And then that's also, you're running the risk. It's dark already.
Yeah.
And then you're driving home with the tryptophan coma going on there. That just, it's fraught with peril.
It's not worth it,
No, just for one day.
Put some food in your face.
Just for one day.
Tell some old stories about the family. Yeah. Have a good laugh.
For one day, don't shoehorn in your talk that you hear for the next how many hours on this particular airwaves.
About the electric cars or the...
hey, good. Hey, how long that turkey take? It's a gas oven. They're going to take those away from you. We're not going to be eating until 10 p.m. if Biden has it.
Yeah,
just shut it.
It's inevitable.
Just shut up. Just everybody, just be quiet.
So
just
unfortunate.
Exactly. It is so terrible. So, Johnny, thank you very much for